let me go. I like cock-a-hoop. We met.
Hey, fellow crabbers, it's your old buddy, it's your old pal, Artie Reynolds here once again with Wrestle Crap Radio. And as always, on the other end of the tin can and string would be the Lamont Sanford to my Fred Sanford, Mr. Blade Braxton.
I love those, man. I love the, what would you call them? Metaphors?
Yes, I spend just hours. Actually, that one I just sat here and as I started rattling off the intro, and I just came up with it on the fly. What do you think of that?
I think it's great because it fits the rather junkyard feel we have at this Wrestle Crab Radio.
It is kind of like a junkyard.
A hodgepodge of all kinds of stuff. Junk. Hey, just don't have a heart attack.
No heart attacks for old RD. Hey, but I almost had a heart attack because we have been getting some rather fantastic entries in our Halloween contest.
Yes, this is going to be perhaps one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to do in my life.
You know what's amazing?
Picking the winner, that is.
I have not forwarded all the entrants to you, but I forwarded you some of my favorites. But would you care to guess who the number one most popular homemade costume would be? I've gotten more guys dressed as this than anybody else combined.
I'm thinking, I want to lean towards Doink the Clown, but I'm really thinking Charlie Min.
Oddly enough, it's not Charlie Min. We'll be talking about Charlie Min later in the show.
We will?
We should have saved it, and I could have said, speaking of Charlie Min.
Speaking of Charlie Min.
I may just throw that in.
Or Brian Knobs.
I may just throw that in later in the show. Even though we won't be speaking of him at all. I may just say that later in the show. Anyway, no, it would happen to be Mankind.
Really?
I was very surprised by this.
I'm surprised by that too. You would think maybe a lot of Hulk Hogan, perhaps.
A lot of Hulk Hogan. So far, my favorite have been the guys dressing up as the Warrior.
Oh, that's great.
That is fantastic stuff. And there's one guy. He's probably the lead right now with me personally. He has the Ultimate Warrior look down pat. And the best part is the picture where he's at. It doesn't even look like a Halloween contest because everybody else is like standing around just wearing regular clothes. That's what makes it great.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, speaking of not Charlie Min, but speaking of Halloween.
Speaking of Halloween,
I was at Walmart this week procuring my groceries.
And
once again, they had Boo Berry. I went to Target and they had Boo Berry. I went to Meijer and they had Boo Berry. So I don't know where you're getting off that you cannot buy Boo Berry anyplace.
Well, maybe I got to stop doing all my shopping at the dollar store.
Maybe that's the problem. Well, the thing is, if you do your shopping at the dollar store and you say that the Boo Berry and Count Chocula and everything is much more popular around, Halloween, my guess is by the time Christmas rolls around, at the dollar store they will be getting all the leftover Boo Berry.
Yeah, that's true, but I'm not going to shed no tears because, at Big Lots and Family Dollar, there's, I'm sure to find a box of my second favorite cereal, Kaboom.
Kaboom, yes, I always liked Quisp.
Quisp, that ruled.
That cereal was awesome. I used to like King Vitaman too, but then at some point, I think in the mid-90s, they decided to modify King Vitaman so it no longer had any sugar at all. Now it's like eating a big bag of corn or something. And not good like buttered corn or popcorn, just like some old feed corn.
Feed corn? The thing I enjoyed most about King Vitaman, despite the incredible feed corn taste, was that creepy old man on the front.
He's kind of feel like he's peering at you or something,
Yeah, in a uncomfortable pedophile kind of way when I was eating my breakfast cereal. I did not enjoy that.
That's, oddly enough, that was the first name of King Vitamin was actually King Pedophile. But that didn't fare well in test markets.
Yeah.
Speaking of frightening...
Speaking of frightening, I was about to say that.
Did you hear Hacksaw Jim Duggan was driving a bus and flipped it over?
That is, that is arguably one of the stupidest things I have ever seen.
And where was this at?
It could only have been the playgrounds of hell, as far as I'm concerned. I don't know where it was at, but let me tell you something. It was a sheriff's, charity benefit. Okay, I just want everyone to sit back in their chairs and listen to the facts about this, okay?
Facts!
It was a sheriff's police charity benefit, which would involve a race around a racetrack, NASCAR style. Well, that's okay. Things start to get a little scary when B, we find out it's not going to be race cars, but freaking school buses.
So did the school just say, okay, well, we'll loan you the buses? Is that what they did?
I don't know what they did, but yeah, we got a bunch of school-based buses running around the track, and then someone thought it'd be a good idea to put Hacksaw Jim Duggan behind the wheel.
Wow.
I mean, it's not like he's ever been, not involved in any hanky-panky behind the wheel. Hint, hint, Iron Sheik.
Yeah, that was, whenever I heard about that was just insane to me. I mean, in other places talk about wrestling news, but right here you're getting the real wrestling news.
Some people were chatting about Nicole Bass on the forum, and I forgot to mention to you that for a 3-digit fee, a few $100s, you can set up a one-on-one confrontation, a one-on-one wrestling match with Nicole Bass.
Oh my.
So,
I know what I'm asking for Christmas this year. You versus Nicole Bass.
But let me tell you something. And I'm saying this because the Detroit Lions are on a roll this season. Yeah, I lost that bet last year where you made me watch that stinking X-Pac China porno. The next bet we have, it's going to be the loser has to wrestle Nicole Bass.
I'll take that bet. Question of the week, and might I add, prize-winning question of the week. We were trying to give away that Dusty Rhodes book, and I successfully did, right?
Right.
Then the guy comes back. No.
Uh-oh.
No. Then the guy comes back and says, I've changed my mind. I don't want the book. Which angle from 7 years ago or longer would you like to see redone, but only crappier than last time?